Adams has pleaded not guilty. How do you see this playing out now?
Well, he's going to be in court in a couple more days for a case management conference. The judge could waive that appearance. And then the nuts and bolts of the defense and the prosecution working together, sharing information, sharing discovery. Importantly, the prosecution has to share all exculpatory information. And in the clip that you've shown as the lead-in, that witness who Alex Sparrow, as criminal defense lawyer, says has lied, they would have to disclose that to the defense as well. There's going to be a motion to dismiss filed by the defense. That'll be really interesting because most of those defense motions are denied this early in the case. But if they've got a lot to work with, the judge may give it full weight and perhaps dismiss it or not dismiss it. We'll have to see. It'll be completely up to the discretion of the judge.
Interesting in regards to the motion to dismiss, Scott. In terms of how tight the case seems by the DOJ, what do you think?
Listen, I've represented a lot of mayors around this country, 3 of the last 5 mayors in D.C. alone. And I got to tell you, and I'm a Democratic fundraiser, this is, as the New York Times says, kind of small potatoes. The idea that the Turkish individuals, whether they were American citizens and they were bundling or giving contributions or using straw people to make contributions, then certainly the mayor would have to have knowledge and the government would have to show that he had knowledge of that. Most politicians don't know that at all. In regard to the most serious charge, bribery, you've got to listen, you've got to really focus on what official act did the mayor do. I would submit to you that the official act here, I can't find in the indictment, because calling the fire marshal and saying, listen, we got to get the church embassy open by such and such a date, doesn't mean you want him to do something against the law. It means you want him to work with the Turkish officials to make sure that building meets all fire code and expedite it. Every mayor I've ever represented would make that call to see if they could get it expedited, because the city bureaucracy can be pretty slow. So I hope the government, the federal government, has a lot more than just that allegation. We'll have to see.
Yes, in terms of those holes and weaknesses that you're already starting to see, what do you think Adams' legal strategy will be?
Well, it'll be one, they can't connote or denote that I had knowledge of these straw donors, if you will. I don't care whether they got emails saying figure out a way to raise money with our Turkish friends. That's not illegal. Figure out a way to do it. If you figure out a way to do it legally, so be it. If you don't figure out a way to legally do it, then tell me so. So I don't think that's an indicting text or email. But, you know, it's always the cover-up that get our elected officials, whether it's Nixon or whether it's the current mayor of New York. They seem to have a lot of evidence on bad acts vis-a-vis trying to cover up. But it's not illegal to not cooperate with an investigation. It's not illegal to say, give me the password to your phone and not give it to the feds. He's got a First Amendment. He's got a Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. So, you know, it's a 57-page indictment. It basically is a circumstantial case, and the government's going to have to put it to proof beyond a reasonable doubt. This will be a jury of their peers, and we'll have to see how strong the government's case is, how strong the defense is here, because I see a lot of strong defenses, and then it'll be up to the jury.
Indeed, you mentioned the indictment, and Adams is claiming that he has been unfairly targeted, yet the alleged evidence seems very specific and well documented, even if you mentioned there are some holes in it. Both of these can't be true at the same time, can they? What do you make of it?
They can't, but either it's an illegal act or an illegal act, and the facts have to support the illegality of it. It can be, you know, the defense can say the same thing the government's saying. One is that the evidence is strong, and the defense can say it's not so strong. That's why we have due process. The witnesses will be cross-examined. The documentary evidence will be challenged in court. There'll be a lot of judicial rulings that could shape this case. And so as a result, this is the best criminal justice system in the world. It gives the defense every opportunity. And, you know, the defendant doesn't have to say a word. He doesn't have to testify. The government has to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt.